again, my name is Kate. I've made a couple video responses before, and after seeing your video on piracy, I thought it was about time that I make one again. I recognize the complexity of the issue, and I thought you did a very good job in addressing the situation of the legality of media piracy. But unfortunately, I felt that the discussion of the ethical and commercial issues associated with it somewhat lacking. When we illegally download a film, a story isn't short a DVD, but the creators still have lost something, whether that's our patronage or our basic respect for their work and their livelihood. And maybe we as consumers don't care that when we steal content, creators lose money and people lose their jobs. As consumers, if we care about anything, it's ourselves, and so we should recognize that when we pirate content we enjoy and no money is being made off of it, then suddenly that product, that content, is no longer being made. And culturally speaking, this is quite a frightening prospect because not only does it put entire industries out of work, it means that new innovations and new artists and art in general will be stifled. I think you're in a singularly unique position to talk about this, Dan, as a young self-made content creator who is also very familiar with technology, so I very much look forward to hearing your thoughts.
Kate, first and foremost, thank you for not being a zombie. It is clear that we have an adamant disagreement here, but it's also clear that you don't think I'm a terrible person for it, so thank you. I'm going to do my best to extend that same courtesy to you with this response. So your whole argument is based on the idea that piracy is unethical and therefore piracy should not be encouraged. But in focusing on the ethics of piracy, you're missing the real issue. The issue is not, is piracy ethical? Because even if we agree that piracy is unethical, there's nothing that we can do to stop piracy other than have, officials monitor private channels of communication. The choice that we have is to either allow piracy or to allow the infringement of our civil liberties, the infringement of our privacy. And I believe very, very strongly that the former is the better option. Now, Kate, you express a lot of concern for the well-being of artists and just art in general in the face of piracy, and I've got to say, I don't share that concern. And that's not because I don't care about art or artists. I mean, I do. I really do. But it's simply because the facts, the hard data, doesn't indicate any cause for concern. I've put links to a couple articles in the doobly-doo to back this up, but as counterintuitive as it may seem, music artists are making more money today than they were before the age of piracy. Movies are taking in more money at the box office than ever before. There's still a huge demand for art and for media, and where there is demand, there is money to be made. Now, how you make that money might change as society changes, but the financial incentive to create and innovate is very, very definitely still there. So how are things changing? Well, we're seeing this trend towards openness, towards ease of access. Instead of CDs, now we have Pandora and Spotify. Instead of DVDs, now we have Netflix and Hulu. And so the reason that I don't feel threatened by piracy as a content creator is that my primary form of publishing, my medium of choice, YouTube, right here, is just about as free and open as it gets. There's really no reason for anyone to pirate this. So artists' jobs are secure. Your fears on that front are completely unfounded. But you are correct in your observation that some jobs are being lost to our evolving media landscape. I mean, we've all seen movie rental stores going out of business, CD stores just suddenly disappearing, record label profits are down. And my first point here is, again, I'm going to keep saying this, I'm going to keep hammering this into your brains. It is not worth sacrificing our civil liberties to protect some people's jobs. But beyond that, even without piracy, most of these jobs would still be disappearing. I mean, yes, piracy does play a part in the equation, but this has just as much to do with advances in media streaming and independent publishing as it does with piracy. Sometimes technological advances render an old way of doing something irrelevant. 500 years ago, the invention of the printing press, undeniably a good thing for the world, but it wasn't a good thing for everybody. That paradigm shift in how media was created and distributed rendered scribes, people who had dedicated their lives to learning how to clearly and efficiently write, copy great works of literature, irrelevant. Today, with the internet, we are in the midst of an even more profound paradigm shift in how media is created and distributed. And while the internet, our open media landscape, is an undeniably good thing for the world, like the printing press before it, it's not a good thing for absolutely everyone. But rather than fighting the inevitable for the sake of old business models and sacrificing our civil liberties in the process, we should embrace reality. We should embrace our new media landscape and work on figuring out new business models that work even in the face of piracy. So there you go. Thank you, Cate, for your response. Hopefully you liked my response to your response. Hopefully the Pogo tribe at large liked it. I'm very curious to see what all you guys think. Post comment, video, response, whatever you want. But while you do that, while you give me feedback, just remember 5 words. Please don't be a zombie. If you like what you just saw, if Dan put you in a state of awe, subscribe to him and click the orange button. It really means something. If you do that, that'd be really cool.